Greetings viewers, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're taking a look at another Subaru because apparently 21 is not enough for me and I need to buy even more. So those of you that have been around for a while know there's a couple of classic Subarus that have eluded me for about a decade, and I've been trying to find them in a good condition, at least body wise, not so much mechanical wise, because I'm going to repair it, fix it, modify it. One of those vehicles, or what we're going to look at today, is a 1982 Subaru Brat. I've been looking for a Subaru Brat for a very long time. Here in the South, Subaru did not get their foothold on the market until about mid to late 90s, almost early 2000s. Growing up, I really never saw ads for Subaru vehicles. I never really saw marketing for it just because of where I lived. Not many people in South Carolina were buying these cars. Subaru started off, as most of you know, up north, out in the Pacific Northwest, and in the mountains around Colorado and around, Appalachia, Virginia, and North Carolina, and Tennessee. That area, that was the main area where Subaru got a foothold in the U.S. and started off. So, Subaru Brat, it was an odd little vehicle to say the least. It was technically not a pickup truck, although when you look at it, it is basically a pickup truck. Subaru did some creative marketing back in the 80s to get around an import tariff for it as a truck. It was actually the Subaru GL. They just called it an open back sedan, as crazy as that is to think about, because there were actually two jump seats in the bed of this little, not a truck. So there wasn't a ton of these little Subaru Brats made, and where they were sold, northern areas, snowy areas, places that salted the roads, they did not last. There's so many of them that have been lost to rust, wrecks, crush since the 1980s when they ended production of the Brat. So it's pretty hard to find because they ended production in 1987, which is my birth year, so the newest one you can find is 34 years old, and these older Subarus didn't hold up to the conditions very well, and a lot of them rusted out just from bad design, poor undercoating, things of that nature. So finding a rust-free example is very, very hard, and normally when you do, it's pretty expensive to boot. So yesterday I was on Facebook Marketplace. I get on it at least 2 times a day and scroll through, see if there's any deals on vehicles or farm equipment, or, you never know what you'll find on Facebook Marketplace. Sometimes it's just fun to get on there and find what kind of crazy stuff people are selling. So I scrolled upon Marketplace, and the first ad I saw was for this little 1982 Subaru Brat in Pineville, North Carolina. So yesterday I went to look at it, and this is what I found in picture and video. Alright guys, so here's a couple of pictures just walking around the vehicle. Pretty straight on the actual body itself. There wasn't a ton of rust, but we're going to get a video clip in a minute walking around it, just giving you a couple of pictures to start off with. There was some damage on the driver fender, and this is a picture of the gas tank. There was a hole rusted through it, which is why the car was sitting and had not run and was not running. The buyer I bought it from, or was looking to buy it from, said that it had been sitting since 2000, so 21 years of sitting, not running. Not a good sign. This did have an EA81 in it, as you see right there. Wasn't sure off the bat. Pointing right there, this is what they call a Cyclops model. That grille emblem actually pops up and there's a light under there. I'm not sure if it's an extra headlight or if it's supposed to be a fog light. But anyway, it looks like the most of the rust was here at the front of the vehicle. I think some battery acid spilled out and rusted out the front valence here and rusted out the battery tray. Other than that, it was surface rust underneath, which you would expect for a 1982 model. A little bit more than some vehicles, but not terrible. There was actually some rust in the spare wheel and tire. The actual steel wheel had some rust in it because it looked like the hood seal had failed and water was leaking down onto that wheel and rusting it out. On the outside, it wasn't very many dents or dings. The exhaust was pretty rusted. This is where he had removed the gas tank. He had dropped the subframe a hair to get that gas tank out of there. Not too bad in the bed. Not very much body damage on the outside. The driver fender did have a place. I'm going to show you here. This is a T-top model, which I'm thinking all the US models did have T-tops. You could pop them up like a sunroof or remove them, and when you remove them, they go right there behind the seat. And there's the passenger T-top there. The seats were actually in pretty good condition. Here's something on the older Subarus. They were four-wheel drive, not all-wheel drive. You were front-wheel drive until you pulled that handle up into four-wheel high or low. Manual transmission, four-speed transmission. Showing 133,000 miles. Not sure if the odometer was working, that was actual mileage, or if that's just where it happened to die. The cluster had a lot of wear from sun damage. It was going to need to be repaired. I did like that it was a factory air-conditioned vehicle, that, you know, if I wanted to have the air condition work, I could. There was the button for that center lamp. I found this control unit, wasn't exactly sure what it was for, because I'm fairly certain this is a carbureted vehicle, so I don't know it would have a control unit like that. The clock and some of the gauges, a lot of damage to the dashboard, a lot of cracking on it. Things that are hard to find, this stuff for this vehicle. You know, it's an old vehicle. Parts are hard to find. It's kind of like the SVX. One reason why I haven't restored my SVX. So this afternoon in editing the video, I actually went back and looked at the ad to check some information on it. And I see the ad has been deleted. I have not messaged the seller to see if he sold the vehicle or if he had a change of heart. In talking to him, he seemed pretty much on the fence. He wasn't really sure about selling the car. He really wanted to fix it and have it a project, but he was kind of in the boat with me and has too many projects and not enough time and money to go around to him. He also said when I came to see it, I was the first person to actually come see it, but he had, I believe, 2 other people coming that afternoon, so likely he could have sold it yesterday afternoon or this morning. I told him I was going to think about it. I wasn't so sure on it for the price, the condition, and the fact that I don't have a shop right now to, you know, pull this thing apart and do a in-depth, ground up, the kind of work that this thing needs done to it to get it back right. So I didn't want to buy it and have it sit out, you know, be a year or more before I could get to it. I'd hate for it to do that, but again, finding one that has this little amount of rust or no rust is getting very, very difficult to do. So there it is. It looks like it's no longer available, so I really don't have to think about buying it or not. I'm still looking for a Subaru Brat. So if any of you viewers have one for sale and you're in the Southeast region, drop down in the comments below and let me know about it. Or if you know our one's for sale in the area, I might be inclined to drive off and get one and have it be a long-term project here on the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.